Thank you so much, Chair, and I thank the witnesses. So my first question through the Chair is there a VAC women's health research strategy? And if so, is it publicly available? How was it developed? Who is involved? Does it exist?
Thank you for the question, Mr. Chair. We do have research priorities identified for women veterans that for us are shaping the direction that we're taking going forward with research. We're finding that there are many more opportunities and directions we can go now following the identification of veterans in Canada through the 2021 census, where before we had very limited scope of information that we could tap into. Now we're finding that we can expand the types of research that we can do, including data linkages with other federal administrative data sources from other departmental programs. Of course, that's in partnership with Statistics Canada. So we're building our relationship with Statistics Canada, and they have access to.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. I really apologize, but I guess my main, is there a strategy? Like, I hear that you're linking with other people, other departments, but is there a specific strategy that you point at it that you can have some measurable outcomes?
We do have a women veterans research plan that is focusing on specific areas such as aging and sex-specific cancers and occupational exposures and healthcare access and opioid use. We don't publish the specific initiatives that are coming up.
So is it public? Sorry, is it something that the committee could look at just to see sort of what the plan is?
We can certainly share our research priorities with the committee, yes.
Thank you. That would be helpful. So I know that the first Women Veteran Forum was held in PEI in 2019, about 4 years ago, and research was mentioned in the summary, I think 24 times. So obviously a central theme and a priority area. So I'm just wondering if you could talk about what has been done on health-specific issue research for women veterans since then, and a couple of things that I'm particularly very interested in is we know that women veterans who served in the Middle East and experienced burn pit exposures are now experiencing higher rates of breast cancer. So do we know if those rates of breast cancer are different from women who did not serve in the Middle East and experience that combat exposure? And then around that, do we know if veteran women receive higher rates of breast cancer compared to civilian women? I'm just wondering. And then the other part, because these are the issues I hear about the most, is about uterine prolapse or stress incontinence related to military duty. So has any research been done on this? And since this happened in 2019, sort of where is the direction of the department going in terms of researching these important issues specifically for women veterans?
Thank you for the question. So there were a few different pieces in there. I'll start with the breast cancer item. So all of the cancer prevalence or cancer incidence type studies require a large population set in order to have reportable results with any confidence. With the cohort of veterans who served in the Persian Gulf, for example, that's a fairly small number. It's only around 5,000 to start with. And then if you isolate that down to the women veterans who are part of that, that's a much smaller number, and it becomes very difficult to produce reliable or robust statistical estimates about cancer prevalence and comparisons against the population. So just with that caveat. But I will say we are now able, again, thanks to the census, to conduct a data linkage study, which we're just embarking on, that's looking at cancer prevalence among veterans, thanks to the existence of the Canadian Cancer Registry that has all primary cancer diagnoses since 1991 in Canada that we can link against all living veterans in Canada. So we now have, as of just the past few months, the data components that make that kind of analysis possible.
So, okay, I mean, I'm feeling a little frustrated. It's really apparent to me, not at you, but just at the fact that we obviously do not have a lot of data about women veterans, and this is very concerning to me. So I guess my next question is how does this department in VAC meaningfully include the voices of women veterans in their research? And would, for example, a woman veteran advisory committee be helpful for research prioritization and development? Because I'm just concerned that the focus isn't there. Would it be wise to have women veterans actually be part of that advisory committee to research?
Thank you for the question, Mr. Chair. So the answer is we are eager to engage and to discuss our research plans, our research methods with women veterans in the community, whatever form that takes. I mentioned that there are, in my opening remarks, there are some new community level groups that are coming together, and they are providing input into the department's perception and perspectives on how we should engage in research. Some of those groups include the Women Veterans Research Engagement Network, the Canadian Military Women's Health Research Interest Group, which includes members or representation from VAC and D&D and the medical community, at the Military Sexual Trauma Community of Practice. These groups...
Mr. Svensson, sorry to interrupt you. The time